there is a serpent in my garden. How can a man that has been with me for 24 years, showing so much care and attention, wake up one day and blatantly say he never loved me? How? We have 3 lovely children, an undergraduate and 2 others currently in secondary school. By any measure, I believe we are a successful family. You can imagine the shock when my husband woke up to me that fateful morning and told me he had never loved me.
You need to know now, and we need to start now. Excuse me.
Yes, it is true we had our first child out of wedlock, but got married after then. He is telling me 23 years after that he married me out of pity. Is this not one of those signs of being bewitched? This man is a Christian, a good father, a lovely husband, a role model in church, with the exception of the beginning part of our relationship when our emotions got the better of us. We have lived a good Christian life till this period.
Brother Lucky,
Pastor.
this challenge are common.
Right now, my pastor and a childhood friend have been praying along with me, even consulting. My pastor has regularly asked my husband to play his role in the home, but it is not the same anymore. I feel he is bent on wearing me out with denial of attention.
Let's
Thank you.
pray.
How are you?
Lord, our Heavenly Father,
You would see him at home at the right time. He makes money available for everything and anything. He even prays with us and laughs, but something is missing. I know something is wrong. The man I am currently living with is not my husband. I need him back.
Hello viewers at home, welcome to today's episode of Decisions. Like you know, the value of your life is the value of your decisions. And I want to ask you, have you ever started something with so much excitement and for you this is it, couldn't have been better, and somewhere in the middle you feel like, how did I get here? Who sent me? This is what we'll be talking about today, and I'm your host Abigail Unutaro. And with me to do justice to this thought are 2 seasoned persons, people I respect so much. You've heard them before and you would want to hear them again, particularly on this matter of midlife crisis. Okay, on my far left is my very own, don't be jealous, allow me, my very own pastor. I like the way she smile. And I'm going to say your name in that same respect. She is my very own pastor, someone I respect so much, Pastor Vera Owovo. And her smile speaks it all. She is a deputy director in Petroleum Training Institute, Efrun, and also pastor, Morning Star Christian Center. Everywhere I go, I hear people say, she's good in marriage matters everywhere. Everywhere I've heard. Pastor Vera, she's good at marriage matters.
Oh, wow.
God bless you, ma, for what you're doing in that field. God bless you.
Praise.
And also our own, you've heard him before and you want to hear him again today. Someone with so much to give to our generation. And that's Reverend Boma George. He's an administrator of New Warwick Bishopric Church of God Mission International, Efrun Praise Center. Sir, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Hello viewers and compliments of the season.
Yes, compliments of the season. Okay, so like I said before, so that we don't drift away, have you ever been in something you started with so much excitement and right now you're feeling like, how did I get here? Have you ever been in that kind of situation?
I'm sure we've all been in that kind of situation. Yeah. Now you jump in with all the excitement, and after a bit you are like, oh my God,
How did I get here?
I'm sure it happens.
It happens to everyone. Don't drive yourself crazy because you're there. It's one of the turns of life as I see it. Okay, but today we want to look at this same feeling in the marriage setting. Right now for some they feel they're indebted when they go married. Or do you think it's really different? This feeling of love Is it different before marriage, as in courtship, and then in marriage, is it different? Pastor Boma George, you go first.
Different.
Yes, like people's response to it. I feel so excited, so much excitement, something under my in the belly and all of that. And in marriage, all of that feeling is reduced, and you like this case we have.
Yes. Normal.
Okay.
You know, the first thing that gives you the need to go into that relationship is because of the love you have for the person. But it is not love that keeps a relationship. It is actually wisdom.
Okay.
Because now the whole truth about the matter is unveiled before you.
Okay.
So you now have to work to make the marriage work, the relationship work.
But you still need love in the marriage.
Sure.
Because what we want to look at right now is if the love before and the love in is different. If one should look at it like something you have to know what's the difference, if there is at all.
When you are outside,
okay,
the way you are looking at the thing is quite different from the real thing.
Okay.
So once you are inside, you will now see the real thing. But you have to, yes.
And you know,
yes.
When people meet for the first time,
okay,
there's that chemistry.
Yeah.
That, oh my God, I can't even sleep. I can't close my eyes. Butterflies in my stomach. And the mistake that many people make is to think that when they get married, they'll keep having that emotional reaction. And when that ceases, they say, oh, I'm no longer in love.
Love you.
And that is why we keep teaching younger people that, see, you must be able to differentiate between what love truly is different from emotions. Yes, you need all of that emotion, but after you get married, there's a mature love, which now is a decision.
Okay.
According to 1 Corinthians 13, love is kind, love is patient. So then you choose to love. Love then becomes a decision, what you want to do. So you are not basing on the feeling and emotion. You know?
And again, what commitment you owe your partner in the relationship.
Okay.
Precisely.
You are not looking at what is even convenient for you.
Okay.
But the model that has been set before you. Jesus said, you, the man, love her as Christ loved the church. You know what it is? It's a very big deal.
Okay.
He died for a church that was antagonistic to him.
Okay.
So that's a heavy thing for the man. That's what I talk about, wisdom. At this point, everything is unveiled before you. The things you didn't see and some issues about that you will not like.
Yeah.
But God said you have to make it work.
And I think from this, what you said so far, Pastor Boma George and Pastor Vera, you've actually done justice to this. You made a difference between the emotional part of it and the commitment, like you said, part of it. So these two things are needed in this courtship or in this relationship.
Sure.
So there is the emotional part, we don't throw it away, but there is the commitment to love, like she said, 1 Corinthians 13. Okay, but I want to move on from there. You know, some persons feel that okay, I got married to the wrong person. You know, that's the way he's feeling. For him, he thinks because I was made to, I wouldn't have married her if she wasn't pregnant. But do you think this feeling is different from those that really had I want to do this wedding plan and everything?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter whether she got pregnant for you before you enter in and all the rest of them. You need tools to drive the marriage. That's what I'm talking about. You need the tools to drive that marriage. If you lack them, the marriage is heading for disaster. So we need to go back to the one that said, love your wife, for instance. I'm talking from the male perspective.
Okay.
So I need to understand my wife. I need to know her weaknesses. And go back to the man that asked me to love her in the midst of these challenges.
Okay.
And then the Holy Spirit is by me to give me the strength for me to be able to.
That once people get married, the devil has a very big tool he uses against every marriage. He goes to the man and he comes to the woman. Oh my God, of all the men in town, what were you thinking? So it's not for people who made this kind of mistake and got pregnant before wedlock. It's everybody that faces that. Yeah. For those who are married and you are watching, I'm sure the devil has also come to you to say you made a mistake for marrying that person you married. And I always tell people, when they come to me, I'm like, okay, so you want to break up your marriage on the basis of a lie? Because no matter who you have married, he would have told you the same thing. So it's not for this person per se, but it's just a trick that the devil uses, and it's an age-long trick.
Yes.
I wish people can wise up to
Please,
it.
I like that line. It's an age-long trick. Know that it's a trick. And what do you do to a trick?
Oh, you just jettison it and push
You
it
push it
aside.
aside and you push that on the ground of wisdom.
Yes.
And like we said earlier, commitment too.
Yes.
You know, we said something in one of our episodes before that marriage is a commitment.
Yes.
And then even from the very beginning, you two make a commitment to make it work. You have that commitment to make it work. So like we've said already, but I still want us to look at it. She said that it's not different. It's not because you got married out of wedlock. No, that's not it. It's a general.
Oh, you had a baby, right?
You had a baby. Okay, you had a baby out of wedlock.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's not why. This is something that happens here, there, everywhere. Like she said, please master that trick. Also, I want to look at the part of you're reverend and you're counselor, and she's a counselor as well. There's this notion, there's this general thing that goes on, particularly when the person is highly placed in church. You know, you're pregnant. What do we do next? Go and pay dowry. And for me, I think somewhere it's adding to marriages that are not working. Pastor Ben, what's your view on that, Mom?
Okay, first of all, I want to say, every person who is not yet married, stay away from premarital sex.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
Just stay away. Look, the foundation of God stands sure. Any day, anytime, premarital sex will always be a sin. Stay away from it. Okay, but that's not the question right now.
Yes.
The issue now is the girl is already pregnant, which she shouldn't have been. Now she's pregnant. I am one, and I often counsel people. Don't quickly, we call it this shotgun marriage. To quickly make arrangement and get married because the person is pregnant. Because probably she now got pregnant and two of you are looking at yourselves. Are we ready to make this commitment for a lifetime? If you are not sure, there's a case I'm dealing with right now, and I'm telling the guy, excuse me, if you are not sure this is the person you want to spend the rest of your life with, a broken engagement, is it an engagement? Is better than a broken marriage. Don't go ahead. But you say, no, embarrassment, hey. And then parents are pressing, pastors are pressing that they must get married. I'm not one of those pastors because.
And sometimes I even think it's to right wrong. There's this feeling of righting wrong.
Exactly. And getting married doesn't really right the wrong. What rights the wrong is repentance.
Repentance.
Alright, God is a God of second chance, so that's the whole essence of the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation. And so our decisions in life decisions must be done with every vital and important information required.
I like that, and I want to draw from there.
Yeah.
I think, Pastor, you might want to outline some of this vital, important information that backs decision. Because something like this, you're looking at the children, you're looking at the future. What you stand to face now is smaller compared to that weight of the decision ahead of you. I see the way you nod. I want you to answer this.
You know, because we all know that the quality of your decisions determine the quality of your life.
Yes.
Okay, now you are looking at this person. You probably, just in the heat of passion, some people, it's just one attempt that they got pregnant. Okay? Somebody even told me they were not even in a relationship. It was just this, they just got carried away and get, that one she just got pregnant. Then the person wants to go and get married. No, there are things to think about. This is the person I will spend the rest of my life with. Is this the person I want to be the mother of my children subsequently? Is the person I want to spend the rest of my life with? This is the person I want to take all my vacations with. Will this person would I be able to fulfill God's destiny for my life? Because life is about fulfilling destiny.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now you are looking at this person and like, okay, this thing. And then you are beginning to notice certain things you didn't see before. Those are things to really look out for, while you are also praying. And then, if you now have power to pray after the fornication, I see here God, you are checking what's the Spirit of God saying, and then probably you are asking counsel.
Very important.
In the multitude of counsel, there is
safety.
Yes.
Very
So you are asking counsel, you are meeting your pastors and the rest. I think those are things to look into.
Wow. God bless you, ma. God bless you, ma. I like the way that's a teacher's perspective. She outlined it. Please keep it in mind. Okay, I also want to move on this. For this woman that feels after 23 years, my husband doesn't love me anymore. Could there be something that she's doing that is resulting in this? Could it be, whatever it is,
I will take it from the man's angle first as a male. Two things. The things she was doing, like, attracted her to him.
Okay.
If these items are no longer there, it's like an elixir, something that makes you to always want to be with the person. If they are no longer there, whether you like it or not, the strength of the relationship will reduce.
Okay.
That's one. Number two is association. As we grow in life, you belong to different segments of the society, lifted from one level to the other. We talked about 23 years in marriage. So perhaps if it's a career person, you must also have grown.
Yeah.
And then of course now, the kind of people he's exposed to and the kind of spouses they have becomes a challenge. The kind of girls and women he's exposed to per day will also be a challenge, because anytime he goes back home, there's this kind of, this is the way they used to do.
Okay, so let me just cut you there, sir.
Yes.
Let me cut you there, sir. I want a woman's perspective on this. I like what you said. It talks about growing, and then the part of your partner growing with you. I want you to add to this. It's both ways. That there are some men that don't carry women along. There are others that don't want to be carried along. From a woman's perspective, Pastor Fred, I want you to contribute.
Just some women don't know how to take care of themselves. I'm 29 years married.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll soon be 30 years. Hey, you don't have to dress like Mary Amaka because you are married or because you are a Christian. There needs to be that sense of, look at the man. I mean, polished, well dressed. As a woman, you should be. You see where your husband is going. You dress along that same line. Of course, I do know that there are men who want their women to wear things that are unseemly. That's not what I'm talking about. But I mean, just general packaging. I mean, look at that hair. What is that? I mean, you are not 102 years old.
And he's even looking older than him.
Yeah, sure.
That's
what
the
we're
point.
talking
And even
about.
look at the makeup, not well done.
What he's seen before, what he saw in her is no longer there. And then they see that in his office.
Those things can be contributed.
And if we see all that in the apparel outward,
Yes.
imagine what
What's
she's wearing
inside?
under.
Yeah, that's the
Maybe
point.
some old bras,
Yeah, that's
old
right.
panties,
Yes.
things that are worn out that were already married 20
And some of them, because they are married for this long, maybe at home, when she comes home and then maybe it's weak, she just drop it somewhere.
We're going on a short break right now, but we'll come back to conclude this. So please don't go anywhere. Hello viewers, welcome back to Decisions. We're looking at midlife crisis, and we're looking at it in the setting or circle of marriage. And we've talked about a lot of things. I know you've been taking note. Please learn. That's why we're here. And before we went on the break, we were looking at what could have been contributing to this new, like she said, what has happened? A rat has come to my house. A man has not. A snake. A serpent. Oh, see, has come to my house. What has happened after 23 years? So we're looking at the contributing factors, and you mentioned some, and Reverend also mentioned some, but I caught you, particularly Pastor Vera. So was there something you would want to add before I caught you?
The thing about it is that we are living at a time where people like to make excuses for many things. Okay. Now, I mentioned before we went on that break, the ladies dressing, and perhaps sex is not so great anymore after 23 years and stuff like that. And then sometimes some men now take it as, okay, my wife is the one putting me under pressure, now I need to go and look for Yahoo outside. You know, extension, sidekick. Now, but what I keep saying, you were a Christian before you got married. God said, don't fornicate. You didn't fornicate. All the years you were single. You got married, you were single longer than you've been married. How were you able to stay as a single person? And then now you are married because my wife said no 3 times. So now I need somebody else. You know, so those are some of the issues. You know, we are living at a time where the consecration of God's people, the issue of sanctification has really gone down.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, so we make excuses for stuff like that. So for a man to come after 23 years, so, I made a mistake, I'm no longer interested, he needs to check. Number one, his commitment first to Christ. Then before now, his commitment to his wife. Yeah.
Okay. God bless you.
Again, like we said earlier, the social media is also playing, positive and negative. But negative in the sense that the things people are now exposed to, sometimes bizarre sins we see, even with respect to ministers of the gospel, and it tend to lower the standard for people. So if these people are involved in this kind of thing, so what is it? So
and beyond that, Reverend, I think even the teaching in the body of Christ. Somebody can go to church for 52 Sundays in a year and never hear about holiness one time. And never hear about a crucified life one time. It's going to be hear about prosperity, going to hear about success, going to hear about making it.
Motivational.
Motivational stuff. So it's never going to hear about
responsibility.
I think the big problem is bringing the world into the church.
Fine. It's there.
And
God will help His church. God will help. People want to want the pastor to say what they like. And the pastor also is now motivated because he needs members, and also more members coming in will also provide the resources. Maybe he wants to take the church from where it is to the next level.
And what I ask myself, okay, you need more members. Yes. Members for hell or members for heaven. It's a very huge issue because
it's a very big challenge.
If you have a church of 10,000 people and you're going around, I have 10,000 members, and 3/4 of them are adulterers and fornicators, I'm sure, just as Apostle Paul wrote, your works will be burned up.
Fine, that's right.
And when it's tried.
Yes.
Because it's going to be tried with fire at the end of the day. So all these kind of things we are beginning to see, this rise of immorality, this premarital sex leading to all sorts of things, it's because of the word.
The word. There's
not enough gospel to keep people on the straight and narrow path.
That's what learning, that's what taking note of. Yeah. Please, let's go back to while we were talking, the scripture that came to me was, God, let the foundation of God stand sure. Yeah. Let him that names the name of the Lord depart from iniquity. So God has not changed the standard, and He will never change it. But we have to continue what we're talking about. Okay, for this family now, we've also looked at it a little bit before, but I still want us to stretch it. Yeah. The place, how does this father and mother don't like each other, or whatever that is happening between them, and maybe they quarrel or something, how does this affect the overall output of the children?
Listen, I came from a family. My father and my mom, they used to quarrel.
Okay.
But I tell you, there is love in that relationship. It's not what I read from the Bible. What I saw, before I married my wife, I told her that, look, we will make it. I saw love in my family. They quarrel. People will quarrel. We are from two different backgrounds. But listen, we have a vision. There is something that is driving this marriage. We have children in the marriage. Where would their relationship after us should be better than what they met. So this is our responsibility. We talk, we live the life for them to see. It's not that a marriage and somebody will say that my wife and I have never quarreled, not once. My brother.
Yeah, that is Okay, please. Because the truth is that we've been married 29 years and we have never quarreled.
Wow.
No.
Wait.
Have we had misunderstanding? Almost like every day. When we talk about quarrel, we are talking about
that kind of raised voice, that
noise, neighbors are coming. But there is room for, because there will be disagreements.
Sure.
There is no husband and wife that will always be the same.
No, never.
But if you are being led by the Spirit of God, there is no place for quarrel in a Christian marriage. The Bible says the servant of the Lord must not quarrel. Yes. Must not quarrel. So it doesn't matter if that quarrel is in your home. It said the servant of the Lord must not quarrel. From the question you asked, one thing that has actually helped us in our own marriage is just knowing that the example of marriage our children are going to have firsthand is the one they see from home.
Because actually, children learn most by what they see and not what they hear.
Okay.
So if we leave it out for them, it becomes
Easier for them.
Yes, easier for them to emulate and do. And even the things, some of the things they see us do, which is not even right, they know that it's not right. Sometimes some of them ask questions, some of them will be quiet, but I'm sure when they get hooked and later get married, they will not be able to repeat such things.
Okay, but thank you very, very much.
No, but it's so important that parents keep setting the correct example.
Yes, please.
So
it's
because you're modeling to you.
Yes,
It's a model.
not what we are even saying per se.
No, no,
How we
says-
live out our life is very important. Even in the church, people, Bible says we are living epistles.
And you know, Abigail, do you not know that there are many people now that are supposedly Christians that their children don't want to go to church
Yes,
because of what they've seen.
with their parents do at home. Right.
So it's so important because what is beginning to happen is that we are going to have a generation of people who see their parents as hypocrites.
Yeah, that's
Because
it.
what they see them do in church
It's different from what they do at
here.
home. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate. I used to tell my children, I say, I pity this generation. Even naturally, the things we don't even think about are the things people do with so much ease.
So it still brings us back to the structure of the family.
Sure.
It's a very important one, and I think God saw the importance of it from the very, very beginning, and He made it so. Okay, because we have to wrap up this, I would want you to give your final words, your words to these participants, but there are others like them. For the man that sees it as a duty, you know, I think when something is out of duty, it's hard to do. It's like it's more strenuous doing something out of duty. Reverend, what's your take on this?
My take is that, look, marriage is a very serious issue, and that once you are into it and products of the relationship, it is the responsibility of the husband and wife to arrive at a destination, carrying everybody along. No matter the turbulence at sea, it's our responsibility. So I see such families as triumphant families. In the midst there are challenges, but they're able to handle their challenges until they get to a point whereby their children are off and they have started their units, copying the good things that they have done.
God bless you. Pastor Vera, please.
To round off, I'll say 3 things.
Okay.
Number 1, it's a wife, submit to your husbands out of reverence for Christ. So for the wives, I would say your responsibility in your home will leave just a sense of mere duty and move into a realm of reverence for Christ when you see it as such. Okay, so that's for the wife. Husbands, love your wives also out of reverence for Christ. So at the bottom of it all is, do I really fear God? Where's the place of the fear of God in this relationship? Then the third thing I want to say is, no matter where your marriage is at today, depend on the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is the helper. He's able to help you. So if you are at that point in your marriage where you just feel like giving up, dear, don't.
There's hope.
There's hope.
There's hope.
Ask the Holy Spirit. He's going to help you.
We've heard it all. We've heard it all. We have to go right now. But you heard there is hope. So if you're that person in the middle life crisis, whatever it is, there is hope. Okay, we have to go. But before we do that, I must appreciate my guest. God bless you very much. You've done justice to this course, this day. Thank you very, very much. Pastor Vera, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much. Reverend Buma, thank you very, very
Merci
much.
beaucoup.
Yes, merci beaucoup. Okay, viewers at home, like I said before, we've got to go right now. You know you can always leave your comments, your questions on our social media handle showing on the screen. And also, if there's a part of this thing we didn't look at, but you want us to look at it, you can also leave it there and we will pick it up. But right now, we've got to go. So, bye for now.